Hello. Oh,
Hey, hello.
hi. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. How are you? I'm in bed. You'll have to excuse me.
Are you okay that we're recording while you're in bed?
Yeah, what you expected I'm going to do? Good Lord. No, no, I'm fine. Don't worry about that.
Well, this is exciting. How are you doing? Long time
Mm.
no see. It's been a couple of years, huh?
Well, yeah, and they've certainly been eventful years, haven't they? No, I'm fine. I must admit the rigors of touring post COVID have proved to be very apparent.
Mhm.
So we're not exactly as full of energy after 5 dates as we normally would be.
Mhm.
Uh, so yeah, it's been very tiring and a hell of a lot of waiting around at airports and
Yeah.
waiting for lost luggage
Oh
and
no.
shit like that. Yeah, so I think Air Canada are out to kill me. To be honest,
I know the feeling, but we got to
I
fight,
think
right?
yeah, no, I think Barney's put a contract out on me with Air Canada, so they're doing everything in their power to fucking wear me out. Yeah.
No, well, hopefully you make it to San Francisco at least, because we are excited to see you. You're going to be back at the Warfield on September 10th. I was actually just looking, you were at the Warfield 4 years ago, and you played the Substance album, which I've been listening to quite frequently.
Oh,
Uh,
good.
do you have any memories of playing in San Francisco that stand out to you?
Oh my God! Listen, I've got so many memories of playing in San Francisco. You wouldn't believe it. I
Mhm.
remember one of the first times we played when Simple Minds supported us,
Mhm.
and we ended up having a fight in the room outside the dressing rooms with them. So yes, I do remember a lot of playing in Berkeley was a great one actually in San Francisco over the years. Yeah, we've done some great gigs in San Francisco, and at the Fillmore's, you,
Mhm.
you do feel a part of rock's history, shall we say? So no, it's a very. It's always a pleasure. I actually DJed quite a lot there in San Francisco,
Oh,
in
right
the
on.
gap
Mhm.
between New Order splitting up in 2007
Yeah.
and then me getting back to playing music. I did one very memorable tour with Andy Rourke.
Mhm.
The less said about that, the best. Yeah, wow, that was interesting. I always wonder what happened to that club. It looked just like the Hacienda in San Francisco. But
Yeah.
and I got there and I thought, oh my God, this looks like the Hacienda. This is unbelievable. So, but it didn't seem very well managed, shall we say?
Yeah.
So yeah, I have many wild nights. Can you get this? Get this
Yeah.
at the I Beam,
Uh-huh.
right? The first time I ever had a slice of pizza
Uh-huh.
was opposite the I Beam.
Oh, nice.
First time ever I
Uh-huh.
had pizza. I'd never had it before in my life
Oh,
until New Order played the I Beam, and I was so hungry. I
yeah.
thought, where could I get something to eat? And someone said pizza, and I was going, what? Because everybody thought my name. Everybody thinks my name is
Mhm.
pizza.
Mhm.
Because when I say, they go, hi, what's your name? And I go, pizza. They go, pizza? Your name is pizza? And I'm like that. I go, no, it's fucking pizza. So yeah, so now I say my name's Pizza. Oh, Peter. It's
I
like,
might have to call you that from now on. Pizza Hut?
well, you may as well. Yeah. So I have many wonderful moments of roaring round San Francisco in various states of inebriation
Oh, yeah, for
over the
sure.
years. Yeah, it tends to be a lot more stable these days.
Mm.
So yeah, and I enjoy it just the same. I must admit, I've enjoyed. Yeah, I've been very lucky to enjoy, should we say, both sides of the coin.
Yeah, and I saw that you ran marathons. I don't know if you've done it recently, but you did it before COVID. Are you still doing that?
Yes, I don't run marathons. I
Mm.
have been tempted, but
Hmm.
I do. I started out doing the charity 10Ks
Hmm.
in Manchester for from the Tony Wilson died in a very famous hospital called Christie's,
Right.
and I run for them every year. I did 13 10Ks for them.
Oh,
And
wow.
then over COVID, I got into running a lot. And
Mm,
before this tour, I
mhm.
was doing 3 10Ks a week.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so it's been great. I love it. I absolutely adore it. It's my new addiction. And but the thing is that I can't do the two. I
Mm.
can't do the gigs and run because it
Uh,
brings my immune system down too much,
oh yeah.
and then I get colds and I get pneumonia and all that lot. So I have to be a little bit more realistic at 66,
Yeah.
which isn't bad. It took me
Hmm.
66 years to get realistic. So
Yeah,
I've had a good run. Mm.
that's fantastic. Well, I have to catch up to you. I've only done two 10Ks and one 5K. So I have a ways.
Aren't they wonderful though when you do them?
They are. It's such an achievement. It's very
Yeah.
emotional because I've had issues with eating and weight and stuff like that. I'm sure you can relate. But yeah, it's definitely an achievement, right?
Right. You must be joking. It's fantastic. The great thing I found was that the support along the route of a 10K run
Yes.
is phenomenal, because
Mhm.
when you're realizing that you may have had problems, or you may have lost someone, or suffered from whatever it is, there's a lot of people just like you. And I think that it gives a lot of strength to anybody.
Yeah.
The mistake I made, which was quite funny on my first 10K,
Mhm.
was I said, everyone's got the name on the shirt, but I didn't have my name on mine. So my daughter wrote my name on my shirt, but
Yeah.
she wrote it on my back. And I must have had 30,000 people slapping me ass and
Oh
going,
wow.
come on, you can do it, as they all pass you, like most of them
Mhm.
do. And so you learn after that mistake to put your name on your front, and then you just get cheered along.
Yes, there you go.
You don't get slapped ass along. Yeah.
Oh
So
wow.
yeah, we always learn the hard way, don't we?
Oh yes, we do. We really do. And have you had any time during the pandemic to write new music or
Do you know what? The interesting thing about that is that I found that the musicians either did it or they didn't.
yeah. Hmm.
Some were inspired and some were not.
Hmm.
And unfortunately, I was under the not inspired, which made me feel very guilty, because I don't like working alone. I hate writing alone. I find it the most boring, narcissistic thing in the world. And I don't think it makes a good group record. So
Hmm.
one of the big problems we used to have with New Order. So
Yeah.
the thing is that I couldn't play with anybody else.
Hmm.
So we were trying to find a way to do it. So we hit upon the idea that Manchester's mayor, Andy Burnham,
Hmm.
he started a streaming charity.
Hmm.
And the idea was that events were streamed, and all the money that people donated went to charities of
Oh,
the
nice.
streamer's choice. So we started doing that. We did it as the Hacienda, the dance club that we had in Manchester.
Hmm.
And with the first one, we had 4 million people watching,
Oh, wow.
which was fantastic. The second one, as the restrictions started to lift,
Hmm.
we had 2 million. And the last couple was 1.5 million,
Oh,
as
wow.
people were enjoying their freedom. So what I did, I was inspired then to do it by Peter Hook and the Light. So Peter Hook and the Light, we did a virtual festival in Salford that was streamed. We also did a few streams. My son and I did a regular interview podcast that we would do once a week. So yeah, I was kept actually very busy, which was wonderful. And yes, I mean, it's the strangest thing I've ever had to witness in my life.
Yeah.
And I thought, in my naivety, that it would be the only thing. And then
Hmm.
when you get to Ukraine, and
Yeah.
then when you get to bloody Boris Johnson and the English government, my God, it's like the world is just nuts.
It really is.
Oh my God, I can't believe it.
Do you see any parallels between now and 40 years ago? I believe Margaret Thatcher was the prime minister. Are there any parallels there, or is it pretty different?
I mean, the thing is that God, I was 20 then, and really the only thing I was thinking about was myself. what I was going to do. Pretty selfish. We're all selfish, aren't we, at that age?
Yeah.
Very inward looking. I feel quite isolated. I mean, I think it's something that we brought out very well in Joy Division's music, actually. Particularly Ian's words
Mm.
were very much about the confusion and the isolation and the the wondering what was going to happen next. I mean, if you look at a song like Passover, I was playing it last night, and
Yeah.
like nearly the last line is, "I wonder what will come next."
Mm.
So, and that is very much at your heart when you're a teenager. And yeah, I mean, I just used to think the blackouts were exciting. I'd get my scooter out and drive round in the blackout because it was so exciting.
Mm.
So yeah, as a kid, you're really not interested. As an adult, my God, I view it with such gloom. The British government. Oh my God, they're making Trump look good. Honestly, who'd
Yeah.
have thought that you could have someone as strange as Trump running America and
Mhm.
someone as strange as Boris Johnson running England?
Yeah.
You're like, oh my God. I mean, it doesn't fill you with hope for the future, does it?
No, neither does the hate.
But I suppose
Yeah.
that's one of the things about being a musician is that I'm not there to. It's like the old wandering minstrel theory, isn't it? You're there to sort of take people's minds off it for a moment and
Yeah.
distract them, and so that you can face the grim realities of the bloody world when you leave the concert hall.
Yeah.
So I'm very lucky to have a job like that, I must admit.
And it's great to be getting out again. That's the thing. A lot of us have, especially here in California, like we were locked down for so long and it just felt like an eternity. And now that we can go out again, be around people, go to shows and
Yeah, I know. I mean, it was the strangest thing in the world because we played our first gig 5 days after lockdown lifted,
oh
and it
wow.
was a festival down south, and it was really touch and go about whether it was going to happen.
Yeah.
But we got to the festival, didn't know what to expect.
Mhm.
Blow me down within 10 minutes. Everyone was jumping on everyone. Everyone was all over everyone. Everyone was trying to hug you. I was running down the road trying to stay away from people. I mean, it's very difficult, because it's like on this tour,
Mhm.
and we've had to be very mindful
Mhm.
that we cannot mix with people.
Oh.
You're desperately trying to stay
Mhm.
in your own bubble
Yeah.
so that you can finish the tour,
Yeah.
because COVID is still so rife.
Yeah.
And then you're looking at bloody monkeypox, you're looking at the common cold and all this crap. And I'm
Right?
thinking, bloody hell, So we've actually had to be, I feel really bad because I was always the one that used to meet the fans and was happy to meet the fans, and it was a wonderful thing to do. But
Yeah.
now you do have to be mindful that I've got 21 more gigs to do
Oh.
in 21 different places,
Yeah.
more or less.
Mhm.
And yeah, I mean, if I fuck it up and get COVID or somebody gives me COVID, then, it's such a mess. So yeah, that's one aspect of it that we've had to again grow up and realize that, something's got to give from that point. So I do hope that people aren't too annoyed or disappointed that they can't get to you,
Yeah.
for you to sign anything or anything like that. And yeah, it is a great shame. But that's just life these days, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's funny
Mm.
that you mentioned that because before COVID, like you were just saying, you were one for meeting the fans. For
Mm.
instance, you had several books come out over the last couple of years. You were here in San Francisco at the Jewish Community Center, which is where we met. I think it was like the
Mhm.
second time we met.
Mhm.
I noticed that I'm not going to say who, but certain bands or musicians, some of them happen to be from New York in particular, don't meet their fans. I was wondering, why is it important to you to have that personal connection with the fans versus, some other bands just don't care, it seems.
Well, I don't think of them as fans. I think of us being all in it together. When I started playing Joy Division again,
Yeah.
and the expectation was very high, the
Mhm.
only thing I was looking for was people who like Joy Division. You know, all I want people like me who
Yeah.
love Joy Division to come along and we're all listening to Joy Division together.
Yes.
That was what it's all about. And it still feels like that now.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So it's no different. You
Yeah.
know, the thing is that I am lucky enough to love music and I am lucky enough to have a job that involves music. Right. So I mean, I've been doing it now for, my God, 44 years. I can hardly believe it. Honestly can't believe it. And it's one of the most wonderful things in the world to be in a hall where we all love the same fucking music. It's like, yes, that's what it gives me, you know, that wonderful, wonderful feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, it's just one. I view it as the most normal thing in the world.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I do realize that there are some nasty aspects to it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I was reading about that stalker that was not I'm saying anybody's a stalker or anything like that, but it can tip, can't it? So the thing is that I view myself as quite a normal, natural person, and if you're normal and natural, I'm happy to talk to you. If you're a bit weird, mate, then you're on your fucking bike. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Weirdo, fuck off. You know, they're usually quite apparent, aren't they?
Oh
To be
yeah.
honest with you, you're like, oh, he's a fucking nutter, get him out. So it's yeah. I mean, I think that, you know, to be able to stand with someone who loves music and have a conversation is the most normal thing in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And I treat everybody the same. We're all in this together, and that's the way I look on it. I couldn't. Yeah, I mean, I walk down the street, I go everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
um, and people go. I mean, it's quite interesting because when people come to you, they go, "Do I know you? I seem to know you. Are you an actor?" And I'm thinking, I fucking wish. So yeah, it's weird. I mean, it doesn't happen that often. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm able, especially with the mask on. But I've found now that people weirdly actually recognise me with the bloody mask on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how that happens, but yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's good. You know, the thing is not what can I say? You don't want to be. I get very embarrassed if someone's a bit gushy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, you know, that makes me feel uncomfortable. I
Mm-hmm.
just like people to be, well done, mate, loved it, super, you know, on the way, you
Yeah.
know, whatever. That's the aspect that I like, because I do think that most of us are exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, we're all scared to come out of the door sometimes. We're all worried about this, worried about that. I still have to pick up the dog shit in the yard in the morning. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's a great
Mm-hmm.
leveler. So yeah, and I just try and treat people as I would like to be treated. To be honest with you, and I
Yeah.
enjoy it. I enjoy it. I don't think there's anything better for me as we've earned our laurels, if you like. You
Mm-hmm.
know, when I started doing this, there was a lot of very negative reaction. Scared off the people who were going to sing for me. They were terrified of
Mm-hmm.
all the keyboard warriors. Barney and Stephen didn't help with their criticism of what you were doing.
Right.
So, you know, there was a real pall over it when we started. And
Mm-hmm.
we really did have to work to show that we were showing the right respect. We were doing it with the right amount of enthusiasm. We were doing it for the right reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I mean, I did three American tours before I got paid.
Really?
Yes, you know, because it's an expensive thing to do. And
Yes.
I think that people look at you and think, oh, you're playing to, you know, 500, 600,000 people or whatever, you must be loaded. You know, but the truth of it is, as you probably know, is that the costs involved
Yeah.
mean that it's a very difficult way to make a living. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and in the old days, people always used to lose money on touring, but they
Right.
would make money on records.
Yes. And
Now it
merch.
has to be
Mhm.
the other way round. You
Yeah.
don't make money on streaming, so you have to make money touring, and that's why merchandise becomes very important. And the problems that ensued with all these venues taking a cut of the merchandise, which I think is a disgusting practice, to be honest.
No.
It's like they love you in the dressing room, but
Yeah.
hate you at the merch stand.
Right.
I'll never understand it. So anyway, yeah. So I've lost the point of where we were, love.
Coming back to center. Uh,
Good.
so where do you see yourself going in the future after this tour? Do you have any plans?
Well, I mean, we've still got a hell of a lot of dates that were
Mhm,
cancelled,
mhm.
and I must admit that, you know, it's that weird feeling, isn't it? Right?
Yeah.
I honestly cannot believe that I'm 66. Every
Yeah.
morning I wake up, I cannot fucking believe that I'm cavorting round a stage at
Yeah.
66 years old. If someone had told me that at 20,
Mm.
I would still be laughing now,
Mhm,
right? And
mhm.
yet it feels the most natural thing in the world. Now, I mean, there are moments that are very sobering. You know,
Mhm.
like we went to Paul Ryder's funeral last week,
That's right. My condolences.
and yeah, I mean, it was. Oof, I tell you what, that there was a lot of history at that
Yeah.
meeting.
Uh-huh.
Ian McCulloch sang at the funeral. Rowetta sang as well. My God, there was so many representatives of Manchester, of Liverpool music. People had come from everywhere to that
Mhm.
funeral. It was a wonderful, wonderful tribute to him as a man. I have to say that. And they were all friends as well. You know, there was about 400 people at his funeral, and they were all friends and associates.
Mhm.
And I'm sure, like me, every bloody single one of them was sat there going, "Fucking hell, who's next?" Looking round. Oh God, he's like that shit. You know, I mean, because they are the sobering moments that you realise as you've all got older
Yeah.
that this wonderful thing that you're doing could disappear in a bloody instant. So you've got to be careful and you have to judge. And I think if COVID's shown me one thing, it's shown me how important it was. The one thing that I'd forgotten was that how important it was that I had a very happy and I have a wonderful wife and beautiful kids
Mm.
and a granddaughter, and how happy I am at home. And that is the thing now that I realize is just as important as the other bit. I
Absolutely.
never thought of it before. I mean, the 8 year legal battle that I
Mm.
had with New Order
Mm.
meant that I had to work nearly every moment of the day to pay for that legal battle because it was so expensive. The issues were never resolved, but the
Mhm.
cases were settled.
Mhm. Mhm.
So the thing is that I've not got that intensity. So now I'm getting to the point where I'm loving to work. I'm really appreciating that people have now come over to us and gone, yeah, let's just enjoy what we're doing together. You know, I think that's amazing. I'm so happy about that. But the thing is that, you know, all those wonderful moments on COVID where I was at home and thinking, oh my God, you know what? I never thought that I've been touring for 39 years, and I never thought for one moment that there'd be a moment when I'd be able to sit at home and go, you know what? This is pretty good. You know, no
Reflection.
one, oh man, and honestly, no one more than my wife was surprised that we actually got on.
Thank God.
Yeah,
There's horror stories,
yeah,
right?
oh God, yeah, she actually turned to me one day and said, you know what? This has been a lot easier than I thought it would be. And I went, what do you mean?
Glad it was the right
Yeah,
match.
oh my God, over the moon. I mean, we've been married. It's 26 years
Oh,
this year.
congrats.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
So
amazing.
it's she definitely deserves a medal, without a bloody doubt. So yeah, so I mean, it's that funny thing now of I'm aware, whilst I feel great, I'm
Mhm.
aware of the other, shall we say, aspects, and also aware of other things that need to be looked after. So yeah, I mean, COVID for me has actually worked um, for that, for doing a rebalance of what you know is important. So the thing is that I'm watching the calendar um, become more and more busy. Like we got offered a wonderful festival last week in the Dominican Republic,
Oh, wow.
which is somewhere we've never been.
Mm.
So, and I'm thinking, I know that Ian Curtis used to love it. The fact that we went around the world and played, and every time we go somewhere that is really wacky, I always think that's for you, Ian. Joy Division in Dominican Republic, yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, and we're doing a festival next April, I think.
Mhm.
It's called Destination Chaos.
Oh, nice. I like the title.
Yeah, I know. I like the title of that because it just fits us perfectly. Yeah, the light is like organized bloody chaos. So yeah, it's wonderful. So yeah, so I mean, the things are starting to come in. I mean, it was quite interesting after COVID because we did no foreign festivals this
Mhm.
year, none. So as to whether people are just becoming a little bit more insular or whether the travel problems are too much. So I sort of fully expect that that will go back to normal next year. But yeah, I mean, I've got a load of collaborations on the go.
Mm.
I'm doing one with Rusty Egan, who used to be in Rich Kids and Visage.
Oh, yeah.
We've done one before,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
we're doing another one coming up. And I've also got loads of things backlogs of stuff to do.
Wow. Mhm.
So yeah, with the gigs, I'm enjoying myself. Yeah, it's good.
You're a
Yeah,
busy man. I love
yeah,
it.
yeah, it's good. I mean, if I could, yeah, if I could stop bloody arguing with them tossers, it'd be great. My life would be perfect. But you cannot have a perfect life, can you?
Yeah, you
None
can.
of us. None of
Yeah.
us. And I suppose I've resigned myself to the fact that, I enjoy what I do now so much that the
Mhm.
price I have to pay is dealing with them miserable bastards. Yeah. So there you go.
Well, I still put good thoughts into the universe every day when I think about
So do I. And my wife,
good.
every time I say something now, my wife says, you need to manifest, Peter, what you want.
Yeah.
And I'm just like that going, "Arr." She says, come on, good thoughts, good thoughts. And, I mean, I tell you one thing,
Yeah.
since I started doing mindfulness and since
Mhm.
I started doing yoga,
Oh, right on.
I have been a lot better with
Good.
dealing with the stresses and the strains of anything like that. It
Oh.
has been immeasurable, really, and very subtle. A sort
Mhm.
of
Mhm.
subtle change of literally lying down on the mat for me, which I'm going to do when I've finished with you, because I'm sort of missing it.
Mhm.
Lying down on the mat and grounding yourself and
Mhm.
just bringing your mind back, like you said, to center, which is the things that are important, which is first of all you, because if you don't center yourself and look after yourself,
Yes,
you can't do anything.
absolutely.
Yeah. So I mean, it has been very very helpful to me in making me a portion, shall we say,
Mhm.
importance. And that was a hard lesson to learn because I'm like a bull in a china shop most of the time, rampaging round, and yeah, my wife and several of our friends that are very very good in that area have actually helped me immeasurably come to terms with all that side of my character
Yeah.
as well. So yeah, it's good. I'm all good. How are you feeling?
I'm doing fantastic. Yeah,
Good.
I think at the beginning of COVID was the hardest. I don't know if it was for
Hmm.
you, but like you said, running, mindfulness, eating well, finding ways to stay connected with people, doing
Hmm.
more things
Hmm.
in person, I think.
Well, I mean, it's all about effort, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the effort of doing something always makes you feel better, and the temptation is to lock yourself away.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I did it with drugs and
Hmm.
drink, and I really resent myself for it now. But
Yeah.
again, you view it as part of experience, and you wouldn't be the person you were if you hadn't been through it. So
Yeah.
maybe we'll have to do a 10K together one day.
Yes, let's do
San
it.
Francisco 10K.
Is there one from London to Oxford? That's probably more than a 10K.
That is more than a 10K. That's about 40 miles. Are you joking? What are you trying to do? Kill me? Oh my God. Yeah. But it's weird though, isn't it? Because when you start these things, when I started running, I used to think, wow, I've ran for 3 minutes. That's amazing.
Yeah, right?
And to get to the point where you can do an hour.
Yes.
Wow, that is just incredible. The benefits are, yeah, amazing. Yeah, I must admit that's one thing I did learn. Thank God. But there you go. So maybe, yeah, we'll pencil it on our list, on our
Yes.
bucket
Let's
list.
plan it. Well, it was so nice to catch up with you, and best of luck till you get here on September
Well,
10th.
hopefully, if you do make it down to the gig, I'll give you a wave.
Yes, please.
Unless we bring a couple of hazmat suits.
Oh no, and all the
I've
other
had enough of
crap,
them.
the
All
PPE.
right, my love. You take care of yourself.
You too. Take care. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.